I'm very happy to be associating with us right now and call our partner, Aditya Agarwal, who's joining us right now in the segment, who's the head of enterprise in Lenovo. Aditya, hi. I'm sure you heard Srivatsa talk about his career and his journey so far in his personal life. What's your take on that before I go on to the common question?
Uh, so what he talked about, right? Plus, the way he walks into a room, the candor, right? If I were to kind of use the buzzword, it's radical candor that we're speaking about over here. That call a spade a spade, and whatever he spoke about. I think these are the values that a lot of us Indians, right, are we swear by it, and that's the difference that we Indians bring onto the table, some more than the others. And the people who bring that, and I'm seeing father as an inspiration. While it is good, it also puts a lot of pressure that am I being the right inspiration? Will my son gonna say that, right? So this is it speaks about the Indian sensibilities that we have, and I think that's our differentiation in this world.
I totally agree with you, Aditya. I think that's a very good point you mentioned. It comes with a lot of weightage on your head in terms of proving and what more you have to do. So this is a common question I want to ask the two of you. Let me start with Srivatsa first. What are the top IT challenges you foresee in the next 1 or 2 years?
Obviously, the cloud has evolved, and I think it's reached a matured state right now. And I think that's no longer a buzzword or something that people are alienated to. The tons of resources and so on and so forth. There's obviously new technologies coming up. One of the reasons why we got into crypto space was also to solve some of those. It's fairly new. There's so many varieties and so many different kinds of blockchains. There's an entry barrier to it. What cloud tried to solve for compute and memory, like AWS and GCP and whatnot, we wanted to do that for crypto. And the only motivation was not that we were bought into the use cases of crypto, whether those use cases would survive. People might make wrong use cases on crypto and blockchain, and people make right choices. There is an entry barrier. How do we make that experiment? How do we enable them to do those experiment? Some of them may succeed, some of them may fail and learn. That's the space we got into. We tried to solve that. No matter what blockchain, you don't have to worry about intricacies of how to manage a chain, how to participate in a chain, how to deploy something in a chain, and so on and so forth. I think crypto as a space, while many people don't believe in it, there's going to be a lot of investments. There's going to be a lot of exploration and experimentation. Simplifying how to work with crypto would open up an opportunity for many technologies to play around with it and learn for themselves. Do I really have a use case, or I'm trying to retrofit something which is not really a use case for crypto? That's something I would see is something which would be significant trend change going forward. With respect to cloud, we didn't had a lot of data centers in India. Some of the data laws, which are still tabled in the parliament, which is not yet approved and whatnot. I think that's going to bring in huge change in how some of these giant cloud providers would start looking at data centers. Of course, we do have one in Mumbai, but we don't have a second region, and maybe not all cloud providers have it. I think that's going to be something which is going to be changing significantly, because the laws would impose you to have your data locally within the country, geopolitical boundaries, and so on and so forth. That's what I see. A lot of enterprises and startups would be geared up with to look at, how do we look at data privacy? Privacy is going to become a significant part in everything we do in technology going forward. India is fairly behind in my view, in terms of at least regulatory and law point of view, like compared to GDPR. We're still in the formulation and ideation phase. I think once that is formulated, there's going to be significant changes in even the current technologies, how we look at cloud. How do we capture data? How much data do we capture? Everything around privacy and data would be a huge, significant challenge, is how I see it.
So Srivatsa, you spoke about crypto and you spoke about other segments of IT. So I think on the same term, I want to also ask you, the challenges of IT, but in the segment of, there's a new metaverse coming in, and people are finding it. There's mixed thought of people in this. So how do you think, will metaverse make an impact in IT? If yes, do you see it's a challenge, or do you think it's going to be helpful in IT departments?
You're asking the question to the wrong person. I think you should be asking Srivatsa that, because metaverse, I'm still trying to get my head around that, with people buying reality space in metaverse right? To concerts happening there, to weddings happening there, right?
Weddings,
So
yeah.
yeah, so it's a, it's a place we, at least I don't fathom currently, what is gonna happen, because I think the reality 5 years will be very different from what it is right now. It will evolve. There will be use cases, right? We have it seems like and I may be speaking out of turn over here, right? But one of my favorite concepts is crossing the chasm, right? That you have early adopters and there is a chasm, right? And suddenly technologies don't become mainstream. It may be, that it's looking for use cases. Maybe those use cases are already there. I'm not an expert, but it's certainly interesting times, when we speak about that. But when it comes to IT challenges, which are more, let's say, pertinent and have a handle on, security, for example, is definitely one. And I'm talking about security, from cloud. Some people are talking about bringing the infra to their place, right? Which is on site, on prem. One, it sometimes makes financial sense. It also makes sense by security. But again, over cloud, you have that expandability, and you can switch on off. You have the latest features, right? So that's a use case. But again, security at a user level, I think that's with work from home, and actually really work from anywhere happening now. It's no longer work from home. It is work from coffee shop, work from park, work from home, work from office. How do you make that whole transaction secure? Right, that is one big challenge. And it's not just security. How do you keep people productive? Connectivity challenges, right? These are big opportunities that we are speaking about. And of course, opportunity there is like blockchain, what Srivatsa were talking about, artificial intelligence. How can we combine these new emerging technologies? And I'm quite gung-ho that the next 5 years are going to be very, very different. Maybe not be in the next 1 year, but over 5 years we'll be talking about something totally different.
I totally agree with that. And I'm so glad you kind of highlight this point of work from home scenarios in India right now. And actually, not work from home, but work from anywhere. And there's a big question on security. Is everything safe? Is it open out to everyone? I think this is a big question in your conversation, which I see going forward. And I think that's my time out from the segment. I want to thank Srivatsa for joining us here. Aditya, thank you so much again.